So you've learned about real estate syndications, you found one that you liked, and you want to begin investing. But the big question you're likely wondering is, how much should I invest, especially if you're a first-time investor in real estate syndications? I'm going to share with you my guidance to help you think through this question. So let's go ahead and get going. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm an active real estate investor with hundreds of apartments, and I'm on a mission to help immigrant professionals grow their wealth through real estate. If you'd like a copy of my guide, How to Get Started in Passive Real Estate, just click down below in the description. Now let's say you're looking at a specific investment opportunity and you're ready to invest. The first thing you need to do is know whether or not you're even eligible to invest. The way you do that is by knowing whether you're an accredited investor or a sophisticated investor or neither. These are terms that are defined by the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, that classifies investors based on their income, their net worth, their general knowledge of financial matters, etc. Accredited investors can invest in pretty much any real estate syndication they'd like to, while sophisticated investors can only invest in deals where they are permitted to. You will know this because a specific deal will be classified as a 506C or 506B deal, which refers to the SEC exemptions that are being applied. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I really recommend you to watch this video right here before you continue to make sure you understand these fundamental concepts, because these are important to know before you go any further. Now let's assume you already know what classification of investor you are and you are eligible to invest. The big question is, how much should you invest? All real estate syndications have a minimum that they're willing to accept, which is usually between $50,000 to $100,000. Why the range? Well, there could be a lot of reasons. Probably the most common is that for a smaller deal, they'll have a lower minimum, and for a larger deal, they may have a larger minimum. The general partnership team may also have decided that even though it's a smaller deal, they want a higher minimum. The reason isn't as important as just knowing that there's a minimum to begin with. So obviously, that's the least you can invest into that specific syndication. Now, while I'm a big fan of real estate syndications for many reasons, you need to know that there are inherent risks to investments, including syndications. Over the 10 years prior to 2022, for the most part, the real estate sector did very, very well, and real estate syndications did very well too, for the most part. But in late 2022, through what looks like it's going to be through 2024, there is an environment of higher interest rates, and that's impacted real estate syndications and real estate in general. There are other risks too besides interest rates. For example, in the state of Florida, insurance premiums have gone up 2x or even 3x what they were just a few years ago, and that can certainly impact your returns. And while it is rare to completely lose your money in this kind of investment, it has happened, and it will probably happen again in the future. So it is through the lens of these risks that I give guidance to investors that are interested in getting involved in syndications. How much should you invest? That's really up to you, but I do have some guidance that I recommend. If you have a net worth of over $1 million, then I'd keep my first investment at or below 10% of your net worth. So if you have a $1 million net worth, then you would invest at the most $100,000. Or if you have a net worth of say $2.5 million, then you would invest at the most $250,000. Why is that? Because you're just beginning to get familiar with this kind of investing. You will learn a lot about how these investments work, the types of reports you get, and you'll just get more familiar with it. And once you're more familiar with real estate syndications, you can consider going higher. So my recommendation is you start with a low amount and you grow as you become more familiar with syndications overall. Real quick, if you're getting value from this video, please consider clicking the like button and the subscribe button. That way you get all my videos on how to grow your wealth through real estate. It's your positive feedback that spreads this word to other immigrant professionals. Now let's get back to the video. If you have a net worth of less than $1 million, then I would really think carefully about whether or not you want to invest in a syndication. For example, let's say a specific opportunity has a $50,000 minimum and your net worth is $900,000. Then you're investing less than 10% of your net worth, which is probably okay. But if your net worth is less than $500,000, I wouldn't even invest in syndications. There's just too much risk, not necessarily with the investments themselves, but just having so much of your net worth tied into one investment is just not a good idea. One important thing to remember when you invest in a real estate syndication is that the money is not liquid. In other words, once the money is put into the syndication, it is locked in that syndication until the exit occurs. You will be told up front what the exit strategy is for that investment, so you'll know ahead of time. But just be prepared. If something happens in the market and things change, the strategy might need to change too, which may affect the exit date of that investment. So there you have my recommendations. Soon I will create a video that talks about how to select a good real estate syndication to invest in. But until then, thanks for watching the Immigrant Wealth channel.